Hey guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to start talking about school systems, my opinions on the actual school systems, what could potentially be due to change it, and my own experience. So let's dive right in. So, with the school systems that I have currently, and what I currently have went through, I'll start with this first, is that what I went through was just not a fun experience. Yes, some of the actions that I did do were my own doing, but however, before all those things that did occur or whatever they may be, there was a lot of underlying the stuff that was going, back then. When I went to a school, Catholic school, unfortunately, uh, don't recommend. Um, that school particularly was you felt as a guy there, you kind of felt kind of like a little bit uneasy. Like the teachers in particular, they the teachers just seemed like harsh discipline or whatever was like the right way, or trying to like raise your kids in a way because like the teachers thought like, oh well, maybe at least one teacher thought, well, that like, okay, maybe it's okay to like raise these kids or be harsh or whatever. And I'm like, why do you think that's a good idea? And second of all, it's not your job to raise kids. The only job that you're supposed to do is to teach the kids, not raise them. That's the parents' job. So stay the fuck out of the way. And that's just something that ended up happening. This was in third grade. Second grade, I was bullied as a child. And the school didn't really do too much to do anything about that. They kind of just let the kid kept on doing the fucking thing rather than suspending or removing the kid. So I'm not quite sure why they kept on allowing that to happen. I'm not sure. So I'm not quite sure why that would be the gateway or the go-to the situations that would have happened. However, fast forward, past the third grade. I had a teacher, same person did. Same person start talking about. Thought it was a big idea to raise the kids and teach them their own way rather than just being a teacher and doing your fucking job. And then you have other teachers that that they had kids essentially, like the third grade or fourth grade girls, fourth grade, fifth grade girls, kind of like trying to make friends with the teacher, rubbing the teacher's back, or doing like just really weird, awkward shit that's like kind of like weird. Like I didn't find it like normal to me when I was a kid. I was like, hey, why are you guys doing that? That's fucking weird. And it also felt like a lot of the teachers were kind of like hating on the guys rather than it was just like the teachers just kind of kind of disciplining everyone. They would always get onto the guys. They would be more harsher on us. The girls never really got too much in trouble. So that was like my problem with this. And then got expelled from that school. Won't explain terribly why. Let's just say the kid that I happened to say the N word got what he deserved. So we would go to that, and then we have fast forward to seventh grade. We have seventh grade here, and then yeah, the teachers were also just as bad at their jobs. I remember I had one teacher that took my cell phone, and they decided to look through my cell phone, my personal property, which she had no right in doing, and talking out loud about how many people and how many people I had on my phone, and like how popular I was because I had people contacts on my phone. Great teacher, great teacher. And they also wondered why I wasn't very happy with them at the end of my graduation because it just so happened to be that they were dickwads. That you were a dick, you were a cunt, and you deserved everything that you come and getting it to you because you're just not a good teacher. And then we also had a teacher that thought it was a good idea to, even though it was his fault, to pretty much put on a massive detention to all these kids. Like all these kids, even myself was in detention for not turning in a piece of paper, which I don't know why because I forgot exactly what the reason was, but it was like at my school there was like normally 3 to 4 periods, or no, there was like 9, something like that. You wouldn't call it periods, but I forgot what it was the exact thing was, but it was like block A, B, D, stuff like that, and there was a lot of kids there, and everybody was into a certain block and so forth, and a lot of the kids out of almost every block that he had was in a mass detention. So every kid kind of got to mass detention, and I may believe it was also due to his fault because he wasn't explaining how the paper was actually to be done correctly. Because I always turned in my work. I didn't not want to turn in my work. I always turned in my work. I was actually a very good, innocent kid back in those days. So anything that the teacher did, I pretty much did. So, I had a lot of problems there during the 7th grade year. I don't remember too much about 8th grade. I had some teachers was okay. Funny enough, my favorite teachers was the PE teacher because they were more laid back, I guess you could say. Then we were going to fast forward to high school. Oh, what great years high school was. High school was more along the lines of, particularly a lot of things that I actually ended up seeing. I wasn't even political back then, so I didn't do anything political. Anything that was in my head that I thought was wrong was wrong. So no political thing came in. So if we have some people that would come in and be like, oh, well, you got all your political, some people were watching the news and stuff like that. Like, no, I didn't even start watching the news, or not watching the news, but like watching any content related to politics until I was at least like 25. And I'm 28 right now. So that being said, it wasn't until like 3 years ago, until recently, until I really got into politics at all. So the majority of my life, I was not into politics whatsoever. So that being said, all my views were mostly just from my own head, what I thought and what I viewed was wrong. And I seen kids where they would get punished both would get punished for something that I didn't do, that they didn't do, but the other kid did, and they both got punished for it, which I thought was lame. I thought that was not okay. I see teachers take other kids' cell phones away from them for when they have no right to touch their property whatsoever. I also seen where I was also a victim of teachers, of parents coming in saying that I was spinning my tires at the parking lot, and I obviously wasn't, and they, without any proof whatsoever to show that I was actually doing any of that, is dumbfounded to me. So that's not right. So why would I be blamed, or why did you guys do any further investigation on the actual matter and prove that I was doing that, rather than just randomly blaming me for something that you have no idea that I even did? You're just going off of hearsay rather than actually investigating and trying to make sure that everything that they say is correct. And you never have proof on this. So I was always forced to do things, and I was even at that time too. It's they told me oh, you gotta park at the outside of the street, not park inside the parking lot, because they thought that was the correct thing to do. And I'm like, no, because you have no idea what I did or have any proof that I did it. So I always parked inside to show that you're gonna have to do something drastic, you're gonna have to kick me out or something, because I didn't do this. And this was a constant thing that was happening in school, and it's gotten significantly worse. You can see even the teachers board, where the teachers board just did not want to help kids. With the COVID, they're like, no, we're gonna make our stand, and we're not gonna help the children. We're not gonna open the school. We're not gonna do our job because we're fucking corrupted. Nothing. These teachers are terrible. The teachers have always been terrible, and there's nothing that we're gonna go past it where the teachers are gonna be good. The teachers are god awful. I don't know where we can come into the society and go and be like, okay, well, the teachers union is great. The teacher union is gonna be awesome. No, it's fucking terrible. We need to get rid of the teachers union. We need to get rid of all these freaking professors that are necessarily causing these issues, and fix the system. And this is the only way that I feel like we can fix this. These teachers are just corrupted. I see every day where a student, where I may believe a kid wants to serve, a kid's going to serve maybe 16 years in prison, or potentially because she sabotaged a Queen's event or whatever for their school. And I'm like, the fuck is this shit? Because that's not, the school does not have any jurisdiction, nor is the punishment even remotely justified to have a kid be put into 16 years in prison for something as just dumb is that? Like, that makes no sense. Why would you have a kid put in 16 years for sabotaging a Queen's event or whatever? What point? That's hardly nothing. That is no crime. Yeah, expel the kid, or suspend the kid, or whatever. But don't put the kid, like, in jail for it. That's absurd. And these teachers unions have way too much power, have way too much leverage, and it needs to be removed. It just does. It's just insane. I don't understand on how we as a society can keep on letting these teachers run amok and do what they want and have them teach our kids. Like, where they want to have gender studies or racial teaching class, which does not help anything. It just divides. So I'm not quite sure on exactly what we're getting at here as a society. What could possibly make these teachers even remotely good in this aspect? And we need to fix it. These teachers are corrupted. These teachers are not helping the kids. They don't care about the kids. They just want to get their money and just do whatever. And that's the reason why we need it. I think the one way we can probably fix this is remove the teachers union. Get rid of it. We need to abolish it, and we need to start from ground zero. We need to get rid of the teachers union, and then after that, we need to start making sure that all these teachers are legitimately qualified for these things, and go to there. And then once we get these teachers that are qualified and ready to do the things, and we got rid of the teachers union, we can start by anything that the teachers try to bring in politically needs to be removed needs to be immediately fired. And the reason why I say this is because the teachers are not, their job is not to teach you political things, or it's not their job to teach you or how to raise your kid. That is not the teacher's job. The teacher's job is to teach kids and what is on the subject matter. Not whatever, not gender studies, none of this bullshit, because nobody needs that. Gender studies is essentially trying to teach your kid what gender this or what gender that, what's the correct gender and stuff like that. That is not a thing. That needs to be abolished, because that is not good for the mental health for kids at all. Let alone fucking kids, adults. I mean, you even want to call 18-year-olds adults. I mean, when you're an 18-year-old, you don't know nothing about the world. You just don't. So, it is what it is, man. But these are one of the ways I think we could actually potentially stop this. We need to be more harsher on teachers. We need to stop giving them leniency on this. We need to go at them hard, and we need to go at them fast, because they're ruining our country, they're ruining our kids, and they're part of the reason why we have such a division on top of other things into this country. And I may believe the only way to stop this is to do what some of the things I suggested. Maybe people like you guys have better suggestions on how we can fix this problem and how we can, better teach your kids and get them better education and not them be so get confused. Another thing as well is that I personally believe that we should try to homeschool our kids. These teachers are not worth a damn thing. They don't deserve their jobs, and so homeschooling your kids is the best way to keep them from being corrupted and having the teachers try to raise your kids. I know some parents that are piece of shit parents in this. They don't know how to parent, and they take their kids, take the school as a raising thing, to where okay, you go to this school now, you're gonna let the teachers raise you. No, you need to be a parent. You need to be responsible. And the only way you can be responsible is, actually do your job and raise your fucking kid. So that's what I got to say on the schooling thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you so will, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.